What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Leizel. So for today's video, I'm coming to you guys with a full face using only Flower Beauty makeup products. Now I know that Flower Beauty is not relatively new to the makeup scene. It is a brand that has been out for a minute now. But for those of you guys who didn't know, Flower Beauty was actually created by none other than Drew Barrymore herself. And it is most definitely a makeup brand that is geared towards the drugstore market, which is awesome because all of these products were either $14 or less, and that's 14 Australian dollars. I'm not 100% sure on the US prices, but regardless, all of these products are super inexpensive. I did actually go and pick up everything that I needed for this full face from Chemist Warehouse, which if you guys are here in Australia, that's where you can purchase Flower Beauty from. And I do believe if you're over in the US, you can find it at Walmart or the Flower Beauty website. And I think Ulta. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it is definitely one of those easily accessible drugstore makeup brands, which is why I wanted to shed some light on it and test it out for myself today. So if you guys want to see how I created this look using all Flower Beauty makeup products, then keep on watching. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it before you leave it. And if you're new, you know what to do. Join the crew by hitting the little red subscribe button down below. And with that being said, let's get into it. I'm going to jump straight into things today by starting off with a primer. So I have the In Your Prime Pore Minimizing Primer. Now, if you guys know me, I do have an oily skin type, which means that I do have issues when it comes to visible pores. At the moment, I do have a couple little like breakouts happening. I mean, they're not that bad, but as you guys can see, I do have a little bit of redness in this like T-zone area. So, oh, okay. I didn't realize, as you guys can see, it's green on the packaging, and it actually is green when it comes out of the tube, which is interesting. So I'm guessing that is going to be part of the color correcting process, which I typically don't color correct because I don't usually have anything too major going on with my skin that would require me to, but we're just gonna go ahead and apply this onto my face, kind of focus it on the areas where I feel like I need the most help when it comes to my pores. I've been trying out new skincare lately, and it's been about like 2-ish weeks, and as you guys know, when you're doing things when it comes to new skincare, you kind of need to give it a whole month worth of trying before you really start to see proper results. So I'm kind of at the halfway point, and I feel like my skin is doing really well, but once I figure all that out, of course I'm going to share that with you guys. But yeah, this primer actually feels really nice. Typically when it comes to pore minimizing primers, they have that like real thick silicone feel, but I don't feel like this has that at all. I definitely feel like that soaked up into my skin really quickly. In terms of like blurring, yeah, I think it's done a little bit. As I'm looking in the mirror that's further away from me, it definitely looks like it's blurred out my pores a little. So first impressions on the primer, I definitely do like how this feels on my skin. So moving on to foundation now, I have the infamous Light Illusion Luminous Makeup Nude Skin Feel Foundation. So I actually did do a first impressions video on this just yesterday actually, so that video should already be up before you guys are watching this one, so I'm going to go ahead and link it somewhere on the screen right now. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put some of that on the back of my hand. That's the color right there. This is M3 Classic Tan, and it actually is probably a shade too dark for me, but you know, we do what we can to make it work. As I mentioned, I'm an oily skin type, and if you have oily skin, you probably won't like this, because I find most people who have oily skin do gravitate towards more like mattifying foundations, and this definitely is not a mattifying foundation. I feel like it's more of a luminous, as the name suggests, very, very dewy foundation. As you guys can see, I'm just using a Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to blend this in. I did try doing it yesterday in my first impressions with like a really dense kabuki foundation brush, but I just felt like it gave the best finish and it worked with the product better when using a sponge. So that is why I've learnt my lesson and I decided that I'm going to use that for today. But yeah, as you guys can see, that is one layer. And do you guys see like the glow that it's providing right now? Like my face, as I'm turning it and it's shifting in the light, is just beaming. I'm just taking whatever is left on the back of my hand and just kind of going into extra areas where I feel like I need a little bit of extra coverage. Next up, I have their concealer. I just want to say I love the packaging. This is their Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. I picked mine up in the shade Light and I just feel like, yeah, it definitely lives up to the name of being full coverage. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to all the areas that I want to brighten. And this definitely is perfect if you're like me and you like to have a concealer that will not only conceal but also brighten and illuminate your face, because I do like to use my concealers to help with the whole contouring of the face. I don't just like to use it to cover up the darkness underneath my eyes, which, let's face it, I have to do that every day anyway. But this concealer is truly beautiful in terms of the finish that it provides. I feel like it is definitely very hydrating, and again, because it is that light illusion effect, it's just so nice on the skin. Do you guys see the difference that it makes? Like, it makes everything look so nice and glowy and just healthy. I also want to note that these products are very lightweight, but I do have fine lines underneath my eyes and I feel like the concealer is pretty quick to settle into those. So because of that, I'm going to go in with the setting powder. This is their Miracle Matte Universal Finishing Powder, and it's essentially just a white or like translucent setting powder. I do like using these types of powders to set my under eyes, so that is exactly what I'm going to do with this. Hopefully you guys can tell, but as I'm setting down that concealer, it's giving me that really nice, like, soft focus blurring effect, which I really do like with foundations and concealers when I'm able to set them in place and it looks like nice and soft. I really do like that. For the rest of my face, I'm going to be taking their face powder. This is their Light Illusion Perfecting Powder, and it is essentially a colored face powder. This one is in the shade Beige L4 to M1. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly set the rest of my face in place. So I'm going to leave that as my base for now and move on to the eyes, and I'm really excited for this part because I was able to pick up their eyeshadow palette in Gimme Gold. As you can see, we have a bunch of shimmery gold toned eyeshadows and they are just so pretty. Like, just take a moment to have a look at this. It's so pretty. Judging by this palette, a lot of them are very shimmery off the bat. There's not really many options in terms of matte, and I'm guessing I am gonna have to go with this shadow right here to use as my like transitional crease shade, which you guys know that I do like to lay a color down in my crease before anything else. I was about to start applying the shadows and then I realized I haven't really put anything on my lids as a base, so I've just taken a little bit of concealer to both my lids and that can just act as my base today. Okay, so back into the palette now. Let's take that shade for my crease and just start to run that through. I think this palette retailed for 14 Australian dollars, which ain't too bad for an eyeshadow palette like this that comes with all these beautiful gold shimmery tones. Definitely easy to blend though. There's no chalkiness that I'm experiencing. Seems super blendable, smooth, buttery, which I will be honest with you guys, I wasn't completely expecting that from these eyeshadows. To be honest, I don't even know exactly what type of look I'm going to go for today. Probably will just be your regular basic gold shimmery type of smoky eye, but first off the bat, I do like this shadow. I think it looks really, really pretty on the eyes. While I'm here, I'm just going to take it as well and run it along my bottom lash line because I know I'm going to end up doing that anyway, so let's just go ahead and do that now. Actually, while I'm here, let me just do some swatches of these three. Oh damn, okay, yeah. These are super pigmented. Wow, that's pretty. I'm gonna go ahead with this gold shade right here and I'm just going to apply that with a typical flat eye shading brush. I am very impressed with how pigmented these are. I was thinking that maybe I did want to wet my brush just to get it to that really intense level, but I feel like this already looks really nice, if you guys can tell. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this shade right here, second to last, on the outer corner of my eyes. I'm super impressed with how these blend, you guys. Like, when they said that they're super blendable and you can layer them, they weren't kidding. And there definitely is no chalkiness whatsoever. Yeah, I just am very, very impressed with these so far. I'm just running that same shadow that I put on the outer corner of my eyes along my bottom lash line. I'm honestly so impressed with these eyeshadows right now. Like, I thought they were really pretty in the pan, but I wasn't necessarily expecting them to perform the way that they did. So the fact that they have exceeded my expectations, I always like that. I want to go ahead and add like something different on the very like inner portion of the lid. I'm going to try and take the color next to that like rusty gold shade. I can't get over how beautiful these shimmery eyeshadows are. Like, they are so nice. Last but not least, I think I want to take one of these like lighter gold shimmery shades and just pop that on the inner corner of my eyes. Also, if you guys can hear, I don't know how well my mic picks this up, but there are like helicopters above my house, and they have been for the past like 10 minutes. I don't know, whenever I hear like helicopters flying over an area for a long period of time, it leads me to believe that they're like searching for something. Anyways, this is how the inner corner highlight is looking. Really pretty. I really like how that looks. Those are the eyes done. Now moving back onto the face, I don't actually have a bronzer. Surprisingly, from what I could see on the stand in Chemist Warehouse, they did not have any type of bronzer from Flower Beauty. I'm just gonna go in quickly and apply my Bahama Mama bronzer from The Balm. Moving on to blush though, I did pick up one of their Flower Pot powder blushes, and let me just first of all say, the design of this is so cute. Damn, that's like really on there. What the heck? As I was saying, yes, I did pick up one of their Flower Pot blushes, and I just think it's so sweet how it has that little flower design imprinted into the powder. This one in particular is in the shade Peach Primrose, and it is just a beautiful peachy toned blush. So I'm just gonna dab my brush into that. As you can see, picks up a pretty decent amount of product, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to the apples of my cheeks. Oh, this is really pretty, you guys. I really like that color. That is really nice. I love that. I love that color. Okay, another product that I'm super impressed with. I love the way that that applies. It's not too intense, and it's really like soft and diffused. It is described as being a satin finish, so it definitely lives up to that. The way it applies is just so beautiful. I'm just sneakily applying mascara because I almost forgot, but I did not pick up a mascara from their range, just because, as you guys can see, I do wear lash extensions, so I typically don't get much use out of too many mascaras, so I just felt like it was unnecessary for me to pick one up. But yes, the next product that I'm going to be moving on to is highlight. So I have here their Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. As you guys can see, it does come with 3 different highlighters and a brush. The one that I'm going to use today is this one right here. So we're just going to go ahead and take that. Ooh, again, a lot of product picks up onto the brush when you dip it in so lightly. Just going to go ahead and tap that onto... Oh my gosh, do you guys see this? That is intense. And I feel like you could totally layer that to make it even more brighter. If you guys know me, you know that I do like highlighter. Probably used to be more about it back in the day. So yeah, as you can see, that's it right there on my cheek. Super intense and bright, but I'll just quickly give you guys a little bit of a swatch. Really bright. Moving on to the lips now, I did pick up one of their lip liners. I always like to line my lips before going in with any type of lip product, whether that be lip gloss, liquid lipstick, that kind of thing. I always have to line my lips. So I did pick up their Petal Pout lip liner in the shade Toffee, which I typically like to go for a brown toned lip liner. This is probably a little bit more on the warm side. But oh my goodness, you guys, that literally, wow, that's like, wow, This is like the best lip liner formula that I've ever put on my lips. And that's saying a lot because this is literally my first time using it. Oh my goodness, my first thought is that I definitely need to go pick up more of these because that literally glided onto my lips. And I hope that I can find something that is more of a brown tone. Because don't get me wrong, I like the color, but as I said, I'm more of like a brown toned lip liner kind of girl. But formula wise, like the way that that applied to my lips straight off the bat, amazing. As for lip products, I did pick up a lipstick and what I thought was a lip gloss. However, it has just been brought to my attention that this is in fact a matte lip product. So yeah, it literally says Miracle Matte Lip. Like, I don't know why I thought this was a lip gloss. So let's first go in with their lipstick. This is their Petal Pout lip color. This is the lipstick that I have today. This is called Peachy Nude and it is apparently a cream formula. So let's see how this applies. Okay, this to me is definitely not... It's not a color that I usually go for. I mean, the formula feels really nice and easy to apply with. It's definitely a cream. When you tell me Peachy Nude, I'm thinking of like soft peach nude, not like this. This looks like a Malibu Barbie pink. Let me see if I can try fix that with the matte lipstick that I have. So this is the liquid lipstick. Almost nude? Yeah, almost nude. Let's see if this works, because that color, man, way off. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me see if I can blend this in. I don't think I've worn a lip color like this since I was like 17. I better take this off. I'm so sorry, but I have to take this off. Alright, so I'm back. I fixed the lip color. I ended up just going with some typical nude lip liner and lip color from another brand. Yeah, the lip situation definitely was not working for me. Don't get me wrong, the formula, like the product in terms of formula, was great. Like I said, for the lip liner, I definitely want to go and check out what other shades they have to offer, but the lipstick is that But there we have it, you guys. That brings me to the end of this full face using Flower Beauty makeup products. I'd have to say that I was thoroughly impressed with the eyeshadows and the blush, those, honestly. If you could only pick up one of the products that I showed in this video today, I'd have to say it would most definitely be this. Like, I would recommend the eyeshadow palette. Very complimentary to a lot of different skin tones, and it's just a good all-around like glowy gold palette to have. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it before you leave it, and if you're still here at the end watching and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing by hitting the little red button down below before you go, so you don't miss any more videos that I post. I'm gonna leave a full list of everything that I used in this video down in the description box below, alongside with all of my social media links if you guys want to keep up with me on any of those. And with that being said, I hope you guys are having an awesome week. I will talk to you in the comments. I hope you're staying safe, looking after yourselves and looking out for each other, and I will see you all in my next video.